Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 45 of the Bonehead podcast, where we talk all things Blood Bowl. Welcome back. I'm Ben, and once again, I'm joined by Bloodtithe Ben.
Hello.
How you doing, man? You okay?
Yeah, doing good. I finally got rid of that lockdown stuff. It's a risky clipper cut, but I mean,
No, it looks decent, man. Have you got a mullet? Because
Yeah.
that was the fallout of mine.
that was the first thing to go. That was not quite prisonian, but yeah.
Not. Yeah, well, that was a bit of a spoiler, but let's go straight for it. Talking of prison haircuts, Ian Warhannam Hannam is joining us today. Ian, how are you?
Hey, I'm great, thanks. Yeah, I've just broken out for the night.
He's broken out. Prison break for a podcast break. That's wicked. So we've got Ian on the show with us today. Ben, do you want to tell us what we're talking about on episode 45?
Yeah, we're going to be doing a Bonehead basics on Nurgle. We'll be talking about their inducements and also the usual games hobby and star players.
So that's right. We've dragged Ian Warhannam Hannam back onto the show. Ian, you've been on the show loads of times now.
Yeah.
And obviously on Miniature Monday every week, which is awesome. We've dragged you on here because you are, I think, our league's most experienced Nurgle coach.
Yeah, glutton for punishment.
Well, gluttony, it's a very Chaos God thing. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, you've run Nurgle in leagues and you've run Nurgle at a tournament as well. So actually, it does give you that veterancy about you. I've jammed a load of Nurgle games in with a bunch of different lists. A lot of it on stream, actually, getting useful help from chat, and the community is giving some advice as well. So we're going to be talking all about Nurgle and see if we can't help sell you on probably the most disgusting team in Blood Bowl. Right.
It's dwarves, isn't it?
It's dwarves. Well, yeah, depends which side of the community you're talking about. Okay, right. Let's start with news, guys. Okay, first things first, as ever, it's Blood Bowl news, and this is one that you guys actually spotted. We were supposed to talk about on Miniature Monday, but I couldn't make it to the episode. So, Pestilence Gladiators Miniatures. Where did you guys see this?
Yeah, so I just saw this pop up on Facebook, I think. But it's kind of got two sides to it. So I think I may have even seen it on the AOS side, because it's actually a team you can build to either be a kind of fantasy football team, or, as you can see in the kind of top picture there, like a fantasy warband for, you might use it for something like Warcry, or even actually the guys, Mordheim, or even you could use those guys as Blight Kings in your AOS army as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So this is Pestilence Gladiators Miniatures on Kickstarter. Pestilence Gladiators resin cast miniatures team in 32mm scale for board game and fantasy football. They are at 5,944 English pounds against a target of 3,166. So they beat the target. They've got 12 days to go, so that'll be Sunday the 5th of July. So actually, when this episode goes out, you still have over a week. And yeah, like Ian's already said, it's a very clever Kickstarter. It looks very, very classic Nurgle.
I really love this, like the flexibility of this.
So you get 4 big Nurgly guys, which are your Nurgle warriors. Now that guy's got an Uruk High sword. And then you get 2, one's a rhino, one's a normal beastman.
I think you can be quite flexible with beastmen.
Yeah.
They look like the Nurgle version of Bebop and Rocksteady from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay, right, the fantasy football one. This is the one that we want to talk about on the podcast. So let's look at the pledge result. So 2 Pestilence Gladiators fantasy football. Is that right? That's the one here. With this level, you receive 60 miniatures of fantasy football made in high quality resin, and also stretch goals. So that is 4 warriors, 7 rotters, 4 beasts, and 1 big snail. So that covers all your builds. So that's £63 with postage. So that's sitting in the £70 mark with postage. the same as we really always see.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can on the Kickstarter they've got some detailed look at the miniatures. They are very cool. They've got
They're really nice. Yeah.
Nurgle bodies with gladiator stuff on, so gladiator helmets. They've got horrible tentacles and sticking out claws and things. Very, very, very Nurgle. They've got the fly effect.
Yeah, I think the guy said, I think it's Raphael Stumpo, I think it is. He said in just the beginning that he has loads of experience in board games. And I think maybe Call Me or Not, I think he referenced.
Oh, that makes a lot of
Which do
sense.
make nice miniatures, so yeah.
Yeah, the quality of these, like the Beast guy and the Rhino guy, they look really cool as well.
Yeah.
Very dynamic. Is there more than one Beast guy? Yeah, there is. There's 4 Beast chaps. They've got the different thing. And then,
so it is literally a complete team, really.
It is a complete team. They've even got the big snail, which looks kind of like a big snail. Actually, I like this beast of Chaos. This beast
really
of
good
Nurgle.
take. Yeah, really good take on it.
Oh, good.
Especially as it's quite compact and so it fits into the picture.
Yeah, whack it on a 40 though.
I'd definitely whack it on a 40. I know that's going to upset Milton, but definitely needs to be on a 40mm base. We've got a size comparison of the big snail against a human player. The guy's chunky. That is
it's
big lad.
But like Ian said, it's compact. It's like a vertical cylinder, so it takes up just over a square. It definitely smaller, I think, than the Fomeroid. Which is just about the limit of Blood Bowl size. The Rotters themselves are pretty cool. They've got that kind of carnival folk jester.
Sort of executioner mask, isn't it?
Yeah, they've definitely drawn on a lot of those kind of old Warhammer Mordheimy.
Yeah, it's quite Mordheimy. I think that's great. So
I think they're really cool.
It's they've got some guys with
good mutations and things.
claws, 2 heads, which is. I don't think Rotters can get mutations, can they? So, but still, it's a cool look. It's a cool effect for the team. They've got some good.
Oh wow! What is this?
We just come across one of the add-ons here, which was a stretch goal, which is the Possessed for Warband, which is definitely a Necromunda and Mordheim thing, or a coach fantasy football, which is a big guy that actually looks like the Forge World Rotspawn a bit, being carried around by Nurglings.
It's very like Jabba the Hutt, isn't it?
Yeah, very, very similar. Okay, cool. We've got a size comparison here between the classic Human Lineman from Games Workshop 2016 against the Beastman and the Blight King. So Blight King
are pretty chunky, actually, aren't they?
Yeah, I was going to say the Blight King definitely looks strength 4. He's a head and shoulders above the human, and the Beastman is as well. So that beast. Let's think about other uses for these models. That would make a superb Ulfwerener pair. So Richard Saxby's listening. I know he's always on the lookout for boar men.
He loves boars, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of these guys as your Ulfwereners would be amazing. Your werewolves. Well, they're not werewolves, are they? What? Werewolf Ulfwereners? What else are they called? Or is that just Ulfwereners is what they're called for Norse?
I think weren't they called werewolves at some point?
Yeah, I think they might have been. The strength 4 Norse guys. The Beastmen look strength 4, but hey, as long as you're blitzing with them, they're strength 4 anyway. So that works out really, really well. So £63 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 15, 16 players. 7 Rotters is probably the most you're ever going to take. You get some footballs, you get some team markers.
It's really good value if you magnetize the hands, and you
that's
can
cool. Mutation set, really nice.
The mutations, the mutation set, which is free now. That's part of the the stretch goal. 3 claws, 2 tentacles, and 1 times 2 heads. So
just 3 claws, but you've got 4 warriors.
one has to go with tentacles. I don't like the 2 heads thing, but it is quite well done.
Yeah, at least you won't usually put 2 heads on a warrior.
No, exactly. We've got some cool little Nurglings for stretch goals. That Nurglings in a coat? I don't know. Hey, I'm a big fan of Nurglings, having a Nurgling team, basically.
So many good Nurglings.
Yeah, I was just kind of checking to see if there was any more add-ons. But yeah, so actually £63 for a very cool Nurgle team that fits in real well with Blood Bowl. The style is pretty good. It's unique enough, but it still fits in a treat and comes with the big guy.
Yeah. I love it when they do that.
Yeah, I mean the Games Workshop team will be cheaper. You need 1 box and 1 big guy. So 50 quid.
When you come on to talk about builds, that's obviously something, because just having the 2 Beastmen but the 2 Pestigores
Yeah.
is one of the big downsides of the Games Workshop box.
Yeah, because as your team develops, you want to add more and more, and you do need 4. So you're right, Ian. Actually, if you're playing League, then you do need the classic 2 boxes and a big guy. £60, £70. You can get this, have a really unique one. Yeah, it feels like a lot in one go, but it's pretty good.
You've got all the unique sculpts as well, and that's worth a lot.
Yeah.
As well as like having just a team that no one's seen before with a big snail. People remember that.
Yeah.
I think we
People
even
always
had a
remember the
snail.
snail.
Yeah, well, we had like a snail or a slug in one of the previous episodes. I think someone submitted it as a custom.
You would remember it.
Abby
you know,
Rose Wood, I think, did, yeah.
That was, yeah.
With slime tokens. That was a great one. That was for the giant competition. There we go. We didn't even make it out of the first segment before I'm on to giants. Raphael Stumpo. It's a 3rd Kickstarter campaign. Cool mini or not. Yeah, you're right, Ben. Everything is handmade. Oh, it's old school sculpting. That's pretty cool.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Pretty impressive. So that is Pestilence Gladiators miniatures. Nurgle team for about £70.
Brilliant.
Here we go. So just wanted to give a quick check-in on Willy Miniatures Orc team. There is 4 days to go, so this will finish on Saturday at 4:50 p.m. British Standard Time. So if you're listening to this on Saturday and you haven't seen it and you haven't backed it and you want to, you've got about 5 hours. Smash the goal, 12,000 versus 4,000. I mean, we've all looked at the team before. The troll's pretty cool. I don't think I saw the troll before. Where is it? It's a big vampire
really
looking
nice.
troll. Yeah,
that's very cool.
They've got some really cool models. What we're waiting for, is it Grebo or Punga doing the...
I think Grebo starts tomorrow, day of recording.
So it's very exciting.
Yeah,
it's very exciting. It'd be cool to see that one come out and check the price versus that. But this is again €65 for the team, or more with everything. But it does include the troll. So €65 with a troll, 4 black orcs, 4 blitzers, 4 linemen, and 2 throwers. The only thing you're missing are goblins. Yeah, that's a pretty cool team.
Yeah, I do like that one.
Oh, did you guys see this one?
Yeah.
So this is Fantasy Football Sharks. Okay, these are some old school looking miniatures, right? Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
They are retro. They are these guys have got to be metal. They've got to be metal. They've got to be metal. They cannot not be metal because of the way they are sculpted and therefore cast.
Am I right in thinking that they are quite an old team that's kind of getting a reprint or a redo? I think Drew was mentioning.
Yeah, I have heard that, but I don't know where or why. Let's check the actual details for the Kickstarter. A new project for Kickstarter. On this occasion, I present a collection of 40 sharks to play fantasy football. The collection has already been presented in the past for metal, but many people have asked for a revival. This is going to be in resin, so they're doing the Kickstarter to produce these in resin. So it is a bunch of sharks. It is a bunch of anthropomorphized shark people. It's very, very stylized.
This is hilarious. Look at the witches.
Yes. Female anthropomorphized sharks. The big guy is pretty cool. It looks like your kind of late 90s Warzone big guy. Yeah, that's why I thought these guys...
guns strapped on him or something.
Yeah, that's it. Just a couple of guns. Let's look at the price of this. So £46 will get you a pack with all mutants, 9 models. Okay, so what they have done, which I think is quite cool, is produce goals or rewards that are for specific teams. So a player's human pack is £82, so real expensive. 16 players. The big guy ogre shark, 2 throwers, 4 blitzers, 4 catchers, 5 linemen, and tokens and dice. Estimated in October. Orcs, same again, 82. Skaven, 82. It's just variations of the players. Norse, Dark Elf. The Super Box, which is 40 different miniatures, is £172, and you can get a Super Box painted for the bargain price of £905.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, crazy. The tokens are cool. They've got all these the mutant ones where you got extra arms, claws, prehensile tail. The Cthulhu model is amazing.
Yeah, okay, I want it for that.
Do you want it painted?
Yeah, that'll be nice
fast.
nice and cheap. They have done a really good job. I mean, what have they got to? £3,500
That is good.
of a goal of 1,300, and this is a very unique team. And like I said, it's stylized, heavily stylized.
It is funny. It is very funny.
It's quite expensive for a joke team.
It is, yeah, it is.
You
can't ignore that.
I don't know if you can buy Cthulhu on its own, Ben. So I think it might not be able to do that.
Sure, there's plenty of other manufacturers that will happily fulfill that for you.
Yeah, I think Reaper Bones do a pretty decent Cthulhu.
Yeah, that's very true. There's a lot of them.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, initial reaction is quite pricey for what you get.
Yeah,
I think as well. Isn't that a 25mm base as well? So
they do look small. There isn't a price, there isn't a size comparison, but that does look like second edition scale rather than 2016 scale, which shows their age. But they are so cool, and if you like sharks and want a team of sharks,
they make quite cool skinks actually.
The linemen would. The catchers would. They're running posed. There's a chainsaw, there's a champion. There's some cool models there. If you want, I reckon with a good paint job, they would look really interesting.
Only £900.
No, but with some clean, bold colours and some effective shading, I think they'd really pop on the tabletop. They'd be very, very unique. Interesting one. That is Fantasy Football Sharks. On Kickstarter, and we've got one bit of news left that I forgot about, which is incredibly funny. We have a Winzor Chog release. So Winzor Chog is one dude who makes models and makes really good models, and they've released the Minotaur. He's released his Minotaur, which is £15. Comes with a 32mm base. This thing is huge for a 32mm base. Really top heavy model, but I love this when I saw the sculpt. It's just a very cool model. What do you guys think of this?
Muscles on muscles.
Yeah,
I like it because he's like, you can see he's blitzing like smaller players, which is quite fun. Like, it's a cool model. I think it'd be quite hard to paint underneath. But
yeah, I'm going to struggle that one. The reason I think it's quite funny that I forgot about the news is because I've already bought one. So
it's not news to you anymore. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's gone. I've purchased this.
I think we've all painted Winzor Chog stuff here though, and it's really good.
The quality so crisp.
The cast
really
is
nice
amazing.
Cast.
The giant is absolutely amazing.
This guy's going to be different, is he?
And the code Bonehead does still get you 10% off. So if you want to pick up some Winzor Chog models, code Bonehead at checkout will save you 10%. So,
I don't think you ever told me that.
Well, you should listen to the podcast. Gosh, golly darn it. And maybe I'll put it out on social media. I don't know. But
I've incriminated myself.
It's fine. You're a busy man with lots of hobbying on the go. And I tell you what, guys, talking about hobbying, I think that's it for news. Should we move on to hobby?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Smooth segue. So we're going to jump straight into hobby, and Ben's got something very, very cool to tell us about. Ben, hit us up.
Yeah, so it's far from a secret that I've been getting into 3D printing lately, and there are a multitude, I think literally hundreds of Patreons out there who are giving you models to print. And one that I got caught, one that I got caught on here was Titan Troll, and he has an online store as well, but he's mostly making money off Patreon. And I got sucked in by loads of busts he's got. He's got a fancy bust. I've always wanted to paint one, so I got a few. And while chatting to him in Discord, he mentioned that he's thinking of getting into Blood Bowl.
Oh, we like this.
Because, and I asked him if he's ever done any stuff before, and he revealed that he had sculpted this model of Brick Farthing Grotty, which was showing on the video. Obviously, audio listeners can't hear, so check him out on Titan Troll. And it's just phenomenal. Like, I saw this and was blown away at the detail of this. It's one of like the best Blood Bowl models I think I've seen.
So it is an ogre. He's got the classic ogre plate. He's got the chaos thing. He's running in because it's Blood Bowl 2016 plus, he's on 1 foot because that's a thing now.
Classic.
And he is throwing a goblin, which is probably one of the coolest goblin miniatures I've ever seen. It's a shame this goblin doesn't have a separate standing version to be grotty.
Yeah, I know, and it's quite difficult because he comes in parts, but the hands are sculpted to the goblin, so you can't really separate him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a super cool miniature. Now you've printed this out and have almost finished painting it, I think, haven't you?
I have finished. Yeah, so I printed out and painted it quite quickly because I just had to. I thought it was really fun. I did it on wobble colors, so he's green and black.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a cool. I think I posted him on the Blood Bowl community, so you might have seen that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really good. I just loved painting it. The goblin's kind of like got a Doom Diver-esque vibe. He's got like a diving or like a pilot.
He's got flying goggles on.
Flying goggles, yeah.
Yeah.
He's sort of got wings as well.
That's a grot, not a goblin.
Yeah, no, he's quite a big lad.
Oh no,
but yeah,
he's got the 40k hat and everything. It's wicked.
Yeah,
with the horns, the old Gretchen. That is such a cool model, man.
Yes, I think those are his ears actually, but it's just the angle.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, he's got long ears, but yeah, it's really good. So yeah, that part of my hobby's been that.
Finally, your printing gives you something like, because you printed this and then painted it in almost a day, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, it was really satisfying to see something you like and just get it and then paint it. It's it's really liberating.
I cannot wait for games night again so that you can bring us loads of treats.
Yeah, we'll be like Santa with us.
Just bring the printer with you as well.
And just leave it there. Just set it up and leave it running with a massive wish list of stuff. That is very, very, very cool, Ben. So, Ian, hobby-wise, what have you been up to recently?
Yeah, so Blood Bowl wise, I've been working on Deeproot Strong Branch. So, converted from a Kurnoth hunter. So, I recently finished my second treatment for the Halfling team. And I was umming and ahhing about whether to get the Forge World Strong Branch. And actually, although it's just reopened, Forge World was still shut. And actually, I felt like just cracking on. And I had a spare kind of Kurnoth body lying around. So, yeah, just thought I'd get on with it. So, spent a bit of time bulking him up and getting him sorted, and I've just started painting him.
So we've got...
He looks so good. He the sculpting on that model is unreal.
There he is.
Which I think Ben will bring up on the VOD.
There we go. Yeah, probably not the best shot. This shot here, you can see some of the green stuff work Ian's done. So, yeah, the hunter is now a massive, massive, chunky bit of tree. Is that a 40mm bases on Ian?
That's a 40, yeah.
Oh, well done keeping him kind of in the confines.
Yeah, so with Deeproot, I actually used some parts from the Tree Lord kit.
Bolton.
Yeah, there it is. That's probably a more kind of work in progress. So you can see the painted bits there were kind of from an abandoned Dirthu that I'd started and never kind of got round to.
I wonder why they were painted.
To working on. So I just thought, I'm having those bits because I want to use them right now. And then it's also, there he is. So they're the finished two, obviously. And then I wanted him to be a bit bulkier and a bit taller. And stuff
he needs to be bulkier and taller. And
then the fun bit is that I almost left on the back is you see those branches poking out.
Yeah,
that's actually a Tree Lord Ancient's head. So he had a butt face for a while.
Yeah.
But I did. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I did actually sculpt over the face in the end because I couldn't quite bring myself to leaving it. It's having a bum face.
That's so good. If the finished job looks anything like these two guys, these two trees you've done, they look fantastic. The wood effect has been done really, really well. Well done painting that up, man. I know you were considering the best way to do that for a while.
Yeah, I had a little play around with the birch, and that worked. So I've carried that a bit onto Deeproot, but I wanted him to kind of be a slightly different type of tree, ultimately. So I've done a little bit more. Yeah, that's probably the most recent.
He looks like the old school Dirthu from Wood Elves.
Yeah, I did actually look at quite a few old reference pictures of how Wood Elf treatment used to be done.
Yeah, that classic brown and white, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Looking like combat trousers in the 90s.
Thanks for that. and then, next to him's the other project I've been working on, which is Burrows and Badgers.
Your Battle Badgers stuff looks so good.
Yeah, they're really fun models, and I know Ben's been pitting some up as well.
Yeah,
There he
I'm
is.
working on it at the moment.
There you go. Yeah, your Battle Badger stuff is really, really cool. And yeah, Ben's got some as well. Ben, you're not on Twitter, are you?
No, sadly not. Well, I don't know, sadly, but no, I'm not on. No,
Twitter
I'm not on
can be great. It could also be incredibly volatile. So yeah, no, there was some insanely good hobby work there, Ian.
Thank you very much.
We're not surprised, but really, really, really cool.
What about yourself, Ben? Any hobby?
Well, no, it's been a really horrible couple of weeks with work and random migraines, which are probably caused by work. So hobby-wise, all I've really been doing is tinkering around with my Zinch team. Although I decided I needed extra arms because extra arms. Yeah, tinker around with it. And ordered just like some cheap eBay blue horrors. So I've got them coming in the post so I can use the arms and stick them on and add the extra arm big hands rules that they've got, which is very, very cool. Did a bit more painting on my 2 high elves. That's kind of just...
Oh, is this your Winzor Chog ones?
Yeah, I picked up a couple as like a little painting project just to practice painting white.
Yeah.
That's been good fun. Got a bit more of the ogres done, just the skin.
Is painting white good fun?
No, it's awful. It's awful. It's not so bad, but it's the first time I've done it. And it's not popping as well as I'd like, but it does look like a clean white. It looks like a really clean finish, which is quite cool. I'm tempted.
That's progress.
Yeah, I'm tempted to pick up the rest of the team and run them as Dark Elves because I love Winzor Chog, but the High Elf team is a mixed bag for my sort of style choice. Let me just have a look at these on the screen. So if I do this in reverse order, the Blitzers, which I picked up a pack of, are just awesome miniatures. Like,
these are great.
The style, the pose, the arm and the detail, that's what I picked up just to paint. They are amazing. But the rest of the team, the linemen are cool. Can I quick view this? Yes, I can quick view this. So you've got that classic high elf look.
Like the chain skirts. Something I want to see more of in Blood Bowl. Like the high elf.
Scale mail.
Yeah. Scale mail stuff.
Scale, of course. Yeah.
So these guys are really, really cool and love the idea of these. They've got the high elf effect. Really, really cool. The ones I'm not so sure of. The throwers are okay. One of the poses is a bit of a stretch. So I think this one
looks like a stretch.
Looks like he's throwing it for high rule. With that hat and the pose, like that one. This one, just there's something about it.
I think it's the foot.
This one,
the
front
I reckon if you turned the foot in and had it almost pointing inwards.
Yeah.
So you move the whole leg so it was pointing diagonally the opposite way.
Yeah. Basically on the ground.
Yeah. You might be able to do something.
I mean, I don't want to take away from the fact that the casts were amazing. I mean, Winzor Chog,
really clean.
Always the case. So the throwers are reasonable. You've got a good thrower. It's the catchers that they just don't feel right to me. They're brilliantly sculpted, but just something about them just makes them look like satyr. They just makes them look like fawn. And it's just, I don't know. They're the piece I wouldn't be happy with. But then I thought, well, actually, if I pick up another couple of blitzers, that's 4 blitzers, pick up a couple of throwers, one as a thrower and the rest as linemen, actually you got a pretty reasonable dark elf team there. And there's not, I'll admit part of the lure of high elves is the throwing, but actually dark elves are a better team. Tier wise they are. And
they are.
It's quite a cool thing. But yeah, that's what's that?
And there's even an assassin there.
Exactly. Everyone loves assassins. The only thing would be how to do witch elves for high elves. That just doesn't.
Would you be able to sharks?
I've seen some somewhere. Yeah, for a pretty reasonable price. So yeah, my hobby's just been doing a spot of painting. And I feel like I've got something on order that I'm waiting for, but I can't remember what it is.
It's the best kind of order, isn't it? Surprise.
Well, the Minotaur
will turn up in 2 weeks in a mystery package and find out.
Yeah, the Minotaur is going to be fun.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I bought some spaceships from Brigade Miniatures. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always spaceship.
Yeah,
Oh,
So
spaceship or tank?
with the Minotaur then,
yeah.
because I know Games Workshop has been through a couple of phases with sort of like Minotaurs and Beastmen. It's sort of, are you going to go brown or are you going to go fleshy?
Black for this guy.
Okay, all black.
Yeah, black
That'd be
Grashnak,
cool. Yeah,
like old school Grashnak style. Like he was, I think, just a dark skinned. It was called Grashnak Blackhoof. Let's see if we can find the old model. I don't know. There's the art. Let's get.
Or the other option, of course, is bronze. I think there was in the Warhammer lore there was a bronze one.
A bronze one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like a proper metal Minotaur.
Metal that's real.
Brazen Bull is a thing, isn't it? It might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, bronze one would be pretty cool, actually. But Grashnak, old school art was just this dark, terrifying.
With the Games Workshop red phase.
Creature.
So it's got to have.
Yeah, red and black all day long.
See no detail.
Yeah, no detail needed. Just
spray
big
black,
and
paint the eyes.
scary. Yeah, I'll at least give it some agrax. It'll be fine. And then, trying to paint the edge highlight. Because apparently once you've mastered white, black is the next thing to try and do. So try to get a decent fur on a black Minotaur. I don't know.
That's pretty tricky.
I think probably definitely a hobby challenge there. So yeah, that's been it for hobby games. And I know you've both been playing Blood Bowl.
Oh yeah.
So let's have a look at Fumble real quick, because we're just about to hit round 3 of the Bonehead Bowl 2 on Fumble. And you guys, how are you finding it so far?
So fun. Really fun.
So I think, Ben, we spoke last week or last episode about your Slanesh team, and Ian's running pro halflings. What do you reckon to the team, Ian?
I mean, I actually don't think they're as good as normal halflings.
Really?
Really?
Some respects.
They've always done really well in the Mana Bowl Stunty Cups.
Yeah, I think maybe the thing is I'm trying to play them like halflings, and I don't think, and they're not as good as playing at halflings because
they've only one tree.
Two of the positionals you can't throw.
Yeah.
You've only got one tree, so you have got to play it like a bit more of a mixed team.
It's a running team.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and actually the catchers definitely come good. They are really good players. Agility 4.
Yeah, I was going to say 6-2-4-6 catch, dodge, nerves of steel, stunty. They have got stunty, which means they're throwing on a -1, but they're catching on 2+ forever. And because they got dodge and stunty, they're dodging on a 2+ forever, ever.
Yes, yeah. They're really good.
The Moot Guard.
The Moot Guard, interesting position actually, because I often find them a bit out of place because they're so slow.
Movement 4, strength 3.
And they get pinned down because of their agility 2. So although they have got
dodge and stunty, they're 4+ing, which is horrific.
Yeah, it's not great odds really.
I mean, you always the difference between a 2+ and a 3+ feels gut-wrenchingly bad. And then when you ramp it up to a 4+, it's literally might as well. That's an ogre picking up the ball level of good.
Yeah, like last thing you want to do.
Yeah.
So you don't want to start with that action at all. But no, I do like them. And actually, stand firm. What a useful skill. I've never really played many players with it, but it can really slow down the opposition. If they don't get you on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. What about this guy, the punter? 5-2-3-6. Dodge, right stuff, stunty, kick, and Hail Mary pass. That's a cool positional.
Yeah, he's kind of a really good backliner. Gets your ball out of trouble if you're desperate. And just having kick from the off.
Yeah, 60k
really good.
Kick is fantastic.
Ben's probably favourite skill, I reckon.
Definitely, yeah.
Got to be up there. The Moot Guard. It's almost a shame that the what are they called? The Hefties aren't a bit like this.
Yeah, I think they
were going that way. Do you reckon when they designed them?
Yeah, I just think the Hefties have got strength 3.
No, the Hefties in standard Blood Bowl. So this is a pro halfling team.
They're armor 7, aren't they? That's it.
This is a pro halfling team from the Stunty League. So if you go to Mana Bowl Stunty Cup, we play on Fumble in the Stunty League. This is where this team is. They've got special star players and everything. So yeah, the halfling hefties are what, like 5, 2, 3, 7 Stunty? Stand firm or something?
Yeah, I take one of them because they're not the best, but you can get cheap leader on them. So
yeah, that is quite useful.
I think they got Fend actually.
Yeah, you're right. Dodge, Fend, Stunty, 5, 2, 3, 7.
Yeah. Yeah, so to be honest though, I haven't given them much of an outing because I kind of came into my stride with the halflings just before lockdown, and obviously on Blood Bowl 2 they're not on there.
No.
And on Fumble I've been playing with these guys. So
yeah, it's a bit of a shame on that.
But the stars are brilliant fun. So we've got the Friendly Giant, who's basically like a replacement Treeman, but a bit faster.
Cosimano, the Gentle Giant.
Yeah. A bit faster, but obviously has Loner, but he's got Block, which is great. And then we've got the Hot Pot, which is incredible. I've had some really good fun with that.
I enjoyed watching your game with you loving Hot Pot.
Yeah, in the last game, I managed to pull a draw, and one of my favourite moves was sniping the enemy ball carrier who was squares away from my end zone. It's so fun.
So Halfling Hotpot 1139 for 60k. Loner, Bombardier, Hail Mary Pass, really stupid regeneration, take root. Oh, that's awesome.
And no secret weapon. So
no. I thought it threw players because I've taken the Doom Diver before, the Doom Diver Catapult, and that's just very good fun.
You at people, yeah.
Cosimano, the Gentle Giant, 4619 for 280k. Loner, Thick Skull, Block, fan favourite, that's pretty useful. Grab and throw teammate. So he's got no nega trait.
No, you're right. No. Yeah, no, other than Loner, obviously.
Oh my god,
yeah,
that's
he's really good.
Broken.
For the value, 280, really good.
Yeah, that is insane.
He's a better deep root.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, Stunty League for the win on that one.
Less armor, but hey.
Yeah, the Pro Halfling team is a very, very, very cool team.
I think I'm still just trying to find my my way with it, really, and I've kind of coming around to not playing it as halflings.
Playing it for its own thing.
They are fun. They are really fun.
So where are you in the standings? You're 26th at the moment with 2 points. So that's a tie. Is that right? Did you get a tie on your first game?
Yeah, no, I lost my first game.
2-1
against Lizards. So it wasn't a bad result.
Oh, that was against Morpheus, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then
shout out to Morpheus.
Managed to get a really jammy bit of luck in the next game. We got a 1-1 against the Forest Goblins.
Oh, Forest Goblins is a very cool team as well. Those savage orcs.
Yeah, they were really hard to play, really hard. And actually, what caused me the biggest problem was the Spider Riders, because they got shadowing, and they've got
7-4-3-8 shadowing tentacles.
Yes, so trying to dodge away from them with halflings.
Yeah, it's -2 to your roll, isn't it? Because of the strength difference. So actually,
well, and that's if you can even do it with tentacles.
Well, yeah, that's it. -2 to the strength, and then they've got +2 on movement as well. So yeah, you are not escaping.
Really hard work to position them really well.
And and the team comes with 4 Savage Orcs as well, 6-3-3-7, which have a, generally speaking, Frenzy Strength 3 has a great time against Stunties.
Yeah.
Dodge can be fun. Sidestep can leave them around if you've got it, if you're a Snotling player. But when those pals, the more dice you roll, the more chance of pals. And when you're Stunty, they hurt.
Yeah. It was a really hard game to play. So.
Oh, that's cool.
But fun.
So who have you got this round?
What was that?
Fugitives. Northern Nippon. This is a very cool team, man.
Interesting team. They're almost like human-y orcs kind of thing, but with some interesting skills in the mix.
You've got a couple of Black Orc guys, 4-4-2-8 sumos, grab and stand firm. 4 human blitzers, a bunch of Ashigaru, which are human linemen, and then a 5-5-1-9 Frenzy, Juggernaut, Claw, Horns, Loner, Regen, Wild Animal, Oni.
That is a cool big guy.
It is a very cool big guy. 170k. Like it's a fair old whack of cash, but
It's
super
Bloodthirster.
bloodthirster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is just a bloodthirster, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah.
Frenzy, jugs, claw.
5 movement. I think it's 1 less movement.
What's the armor on him?
I
9.
think he's 5 and 9.
Yeah.
I think a Bloodthirster is 6 and 8.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Bloodthirst is less.
Oh, there you go.
So, but yeah, armor 9 on that.
Yeah, that's
Didn't
really
have to
nice.
worry about him too much, to be honest.
Claw horns. No. Claw isn't.
Save 10k on him as well.
Well, I don't know. Claw versus your tree or your giant. This guy's caused 2 casualties so far this tournament. Casualties. 1 casualty per game in.
Ooh.
I know.
I'll feed him a halfling early, so he can make his quota.
Just dance around. So, Ben, how's your tournament going?
It's actually going pretty well.
Whoa,
it's going better
8th.
than most tournaments.
8th.
Yeah.
That's before you even played your 3rd game.
Well, I think I'll enjoy this while I can before the 3rd game.
Oh no.
But yeah, so I had my first game against it was against Lizardmen.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that was a good game.
Yes, it was really good fun. I learned a lot from playing my team. It started out quite strong, and then in the second half,
That was a fun watch.
some really stupid dice rolls and not declaring passes and things like that, and loads of just mistakes made all around.
It's a great introduction to Fumble, that one.
Yeah, it was really good fun, and the coach was lovely as well.
Too
and-
much.
So all my guys named Top Snatchy.
That's 3 casualties, man.
You got 3 casualties in that guy.
No, yeah, 1.5 casualties per game.
Better than an
Wow.
Oni.
Yeah.
Better than the Oni. Wrath,
It's really hard to
1
keep.
casualty
Oh,
per
wow, I get quite a lot of casualties.
Yeah, doing some work here. This team, Ben.
Yeah, so it's a chaos team basically, where you don't get a big guy, but instead your warriors all have claw and very long legs. Your beastmen have prehensile tail and very long legs, and all your linemen are Edge 4.
Which is
So it's a little bit busted.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
And the Slangor and the Warriors, they're +1 movement as well. +1 movement, -1 armor.
yes, yeah. So you lose out on armor on a few of them, but it's worth it when you've got Edge 4 on linemen. So, and the claws. So my second game, I played against tree men. Widgerman is tree men.
Oh, that was ridiculously fun.
They were clawing tree men quite consistently. In the first few block, I was getting armor breaks. Only stuns though. I didn't get that many casualties. I think I took out 1 tree in the
You
game.
got 4 casualties in that game.
I think it was just 1 tree man though. I think it was spikes for the rest.
Oh, that's fair enough, I suppose.
Yeah, but it was really, really fun game and some ridiculous. So I put leap on one of my slangors. So I thought he's got a very long legs, is destined to have leap. And I think I said,
So
I think I had to blitz this ball carrier, and yeah.
Oh, on the Slangor. Okay, so
On the slangor, yeah.
so he's jumping around on a 3+.
I think I needed like a 4+, 4+, 3+, 4+, and then a 2-die block. And I made it all because it's Slanesh, and they seem to just do everything.
Oh, you're doing all right so far with 1 win and 1 draw.
Yeah, so it was quite a close win on the second game. Draw first game, quite close win second. I think it was the last turn I scored with a lucky dodge.
And you've got your old nemesis of a team type this round.
Yeah, so I'm up against Ethereal now, and
Best
last time
served
I've said on the
child.
podcast a couple of times, I played against Milton's Ethereal team in Tombstone tournament Halloween last year with my Were team, which are made up of fast, agile, and fragile players.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I've got another team which is agile and fragile up against Ethereal, and Ethereal have a lot of stab and a lot of tricks. Yeah, so I think my Were team ended up with 2 models left against Milton in the
I
tournament.
feel like Milton was just trying to prove a point though at that point. He was just piling on.
Yeah, it was all everything KO'd or casualties. So
Watch the Banshees on this team. Diving Catch and Hail Mary Pass. 1 each.
interesting. Diving catch and Hail Mary pass.
So it looks like a fun coach. Looks like a fun way to play this. What's he got? Block, leader, dodge, pass. So dodge, diving catch on one Banshee, and pass, Hail Mary pass on the other. So watch out for the stretch play there, Ben.
Yeah, and my claw wouldn't even been doing much against this team because
No.
they're all armor 7 anyway.
So
Some armor 8.
you do have a
Yeah.
huge strength advantage though. So if you focus on
Yeah.
the 6 players that can handle the ball on their team, the rest is going to fall apart. They're like a soft
Yeah, they've got a
lizard
lot of no
mountain.
hands, haven't they?
Yeah, it should be.
I think I've given the other 2 beastmen leap as well. So I think I've got 3 leaping beastmen.
You've given one
So I
strip
think I'll be
ball.
able. Oh, was it strip ball? Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which
One of
is-
the already existing leapers, I think.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, leap and strip ball. That'd be fun.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm gutted I'm going to miss your game because you're playing at the same time as I am.
Yeah, I know. We keep doing this.
Yeah.
I need to sort of organize my games later. but-
Tuesday night is a popular time, so guys, if you're listening,
Yeah.
the games have already happened. Hopefully, we'll be there'll be VODs either on our Twitches, Ben's Twitch, or on YouTube, so you can watch. But keep an eye out for Tuesday nights because Tuesday nights, once this podcast goes out, the following week will be the last round of Bonehead Bowl 2, and should be some great games. We've got Ian's game on Thursday night. I'm looking forward to that, Ian. Going to be commentating your match. Hopefully, Ben's going to join me.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Proper Bonehead podcast stream there. See how Ian's doing against his team.
No,
You
know I don't do streams.
I'm playing against Pirates this round.
Yeah, these are like a really interesting team.
A captain 6438, 2 ogres, a couple of long drawn slayers, a couple of dark elves.
Such a cool skill package, that dauntless strip ball animosity thing. It's just like it's really random skills.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely garbage. These guys have got a +6 casualty differential, and it's going to be an absolute.
They're having a great time being
disruption.
pirates.
Yeah, they're just plundering. They're going to be plundering my Chaos Halflings. But I did manage to win with the Chaos Halflings, which I'm super happy with. That was I stole that win a bit. That was against Clan Pestilence. It was a good game, but yeah, stole the 2-1. So I'm actually sitting up
Solid halfway.
Yes, I was 16th. I think I've dropped now because one of the games has happened in round 3. Yeah, I was sitting bang on halfway with my Chaos Halfling team. So at least I got a win. Therefore, I can relax a little bit now. Stevie126 is in first place for the Stunty Cup at the moment, though, because he's got his gnomes. Yeah,
You're on 2-0 at the moment.
1 and a tie. No, 1-1 actually.
Okay, so yeah, not like you can't catch him.
No, he's 2 points ahead. We'll see. I imagine I'm going to lose out, but there's so many cool teams in the league at the moment, so it's great fun. And I've got myself involved in something else as well.
I think I know where this is going, and it sounds incredible.
The All Zombie League.
Yes.
Wow.
So some of the guys in Discord, I feel like Morpheus is the daddy of this one, has created this All Zombie League on Fumble. 1,000k, and it's just zombies. You cannot have anything else, and it's going to be awful. One game every 2 weeks. I'm just interested to see how it plays out.
Everyone has a team of just zombies.
Just zombies. Yeah. You can vary your rerolls. You can vary your fan factor. It's going to be brutal. I think I've got like 15 zombies or something because I just had so much money, and you have to spend all the cash. Otherwise, I was going to drop loads and use a wizard every time. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
That's with really popular zombies with all that fan factor.
Yeah.
The Necromancer's Ball. I don't know. I think it's going to be great fun to. It's all going to be about positioning.
So is it a tournament as with development?
Yeah, well, it's a league essentially.
Okay, so because that will be interesting. After a few games, I bet you see a bit more variation.
The Zomble, the All Zombie Blood Bowl League. Let's have a look at my team. So we've got 5 teams on the go. Zombhead Podcast is my team. 14 zombies, 5 rerolls, 5 fan factor, and 2 coaches and 2 cheerleaders. I mean, that's like a winning.
Are they all necromantic teams?
All necromantic, all zombies.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if you had different inducement options with undead and necromantic.
No, I think it's limited to necromantic, but
okay.
It should be quite interesting. The first few games, but yeah, we might see some star player zombies, which I think is the plan.
Do you know if there's? Are you able to steal each other's zombies through killing them?
I assume so. Unless, can you not?
That's the prize.
Can you not necromancer a player with regeneration?
I don't remember that being a restriction. I think it was just the
Necromancer.
strength.
Blood Bowl. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe Stunty and maybe maybe Stunty and maybe
Regen.
yeah.
Okay.
Necromancer, Apothecary versus Necromancer. Here we go. Let's have a quick
Such a
look
brilliant
at this.
idea.
It should be entertaining. Must not be Strength 5. Have Regeneration or the Stunty skill.
Shame.
Right.
Yeah, that would be very entertaining. Oh no, actually play with the undead team. Every time I kill someone I get a skeleton. Necro gets zombies. Yeah, I do. I feel like regeneration is banned. Anyway, we have rambled on far too much. Is there anything else anyone wants to get in now before we move on to the real meat of this episode?
No, let's go for it.
Okay, right, let's move on to the real regenerating stars of Blood Bowl, the Nurgle team. We talked Chaos, we talked Slanesh, and we talked Regeneration. If you put two of those things together, you get one of the most probably divisive teams in Blood Bowl. Not hated, just really not loved, I think. Except by a few real dedicated fans. So we did the big guy top 5, and the people who love the Rotspawn, the Beast of Nurgle, really love the Beast of Nurgle. We'll come to that in a minute, but it is time to talk through Bonehead Basics Nurgle teams. So, guys, what we're going to do is we'll do the same thing we do every time we do a Bonehead Basics. We're going to talk through each of the player types, what they're good for, how you skill them up, and general tactics at the end. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with all the inducements. So, ready to go?
Ready.
Okay, we have got the roster here, and the roster is made up of rotters, really. 0 to 16 rotter. This is your lineman positional. 40k. 5338. Okay, so 40k for a slow human lineman so far. Decay and Nurgle's Rot. So, yeah, but they do come with, they do have mutations. I wasn't sure if they had mutations because I've never wondered about mutating a rotter.
Actually skilling them up, yeah.
yeah, because they don't survive, but general mutations are normal. So, guys, what are your experiences with the rotters?
I think you take the reins on this one, Ian.
Yeah, honestly, like you say, just a slightly slower human. So they're fairly reliable. Obviously, the problems come when you start getting injuries, and then they literally fall apart.
Yeah, because Decay, if they take a casualty, you roll twice. You roll the D68 twice and apply both results.
Yeah, so you're not looking for a long-term career from any of them in terms of skilling them up for a long time. But actually, as players on the pitch, they're good. They've got armor 8. They're not bad agility. They're not bad strength. Movement 5 is okay.
They're a bargain.
Yeah,
yeah,
40k is really cheap.
So you can get a zombie. Now, I know I'm going to be running an all-zombie team, but I would much rather run an all-rotter team. I have done ridiculous things with rotters, and it saw this on stream. I ended up putting out a game. It was the Nurgle versus Nurgle match. I think it was against Expertbeard, and this rotter just went over, dodged, picked up the ball, dodged, because it adds 3.
That's the thing. You're doing most of those on a 3+, aren't you? So
yeah, 3+, 4+ dodges into tackle zones. Like
really not bad.
Yeah, they will do everything you need them to do. Now, they are by far and large not the most glamorous player on the pitch, but as a well, they might actually be. But
I mean, in that team though, they're probably quite glamorous.
Yeah, because they're the most human-like. But they fill the line they fill the role of lineman really, really well. You can put them on big guys. You can sell them down the river. You can, if they get murdered, it doesn't matter. 40k, there's nothing. Decay it just adds that element of if they get hurt, they're probably going to explode.
Yeah, it makes them more expendable, and actually,
yeah,
you're not afraid to just chuck them into situations.
Brilliant for fouling as well, because 40k is the real sweet spot for fouling players.
It really is. It really is. So let's say a rotter doesn't die, which is something I don't think I've achieved to get a rotter to a level where he's got anything fancy of a level up. So we'll go through fancy ones first. Movement. Would you take movement on a rotter?
Yeah.
Movement 6.
Not really, because I think,
Really?
well, you've got your Pestigore you're wanting to be the fast mover. So for the price, I don't really see the need.
Okay, strength. Would you take strength?
Yeah, because you would.
Sorry, Ben, you were going to say something then, man.
I was just going on from the movement. But I know we're going into this because I thought we're going in tier, so we'll come on to that. But yeah, the strength. You always take a strength 4, right?
Yeah, I'd go strength. 90k strength 4 with okay stats. Fine.
It's a Black Orc that can do stuff.
Yeah.
It's great.
More likely to make more rotters too. So.
Well, yes, using Nurgle's rot. Adge 4, come on, you cannot turn down Adge 4.
You would, in this team in particular, Adge can be a bit of an issue. So
Massively. Adge 4 Rotter would become a actual, genuine, really quick star player on this team, I think.
I think that it's the theme with Rotters is don't become too attached. Ride them while they can, and then if they take some injuries, just bin them.
I think that's fair enough. Now, would you consider Armor 9?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So I'd consider movement 6 because I think sometimes it's really nice to have that. But like Ian said, you got the Pestigors. But over the choice, I think I would take Armor 9 because it does kind of protect you.
It keeps your guy on the pitch.
Yeah,
which
it does.
Is it's definitely worth considering. It is an expensive gig, and I think movement and armor come at the same time, don't they?
Yes,
they're the same role, so it'd be a tough one whether you would take either of those. It really comes down to personal choice. But for skills, I mean, they are the classic linemen. If you're worried about getting murdered, you take block, wrestle. If you're worried about if you got kick, you can give them sure hands. I probably wouldn't because I think
probably wouldn't.
Yeah, like Ian said, the Pestigor is what you want to be handing the ball with. Yeah.
Things like dirty player is an option.
Yeah, well, Ben alluded to that with the fouling. Yeah. They can take mutations. So, is there any out there skills you would consider for a rotter?
I mean, you've got something like tentacles. So a lot of this team is about controlling the area and stopping the other team doing what it wants to do. So, I mean, spreading out a couple more tentacle guys, if you feel like you've got the muscle and you've got guard in other players which are going to make blocks hard.
Yeah.
Is Prehensile Tail, is that a mutation?
I
think it's Prehensile Tail mutation.
Whoa, what a question. What a great question. Let me have a quick look on the CRP.
In a similar vein, that would be quite useful too, like tentacles, just restricting the...
Yeah, tentacles is good. What about Disturbing Presence?
What, to pile it on?
Yeah, because this team comes with an absolute ton of Disturbing Presence. Prehensile Tail is a mutation, Ben.
Yeah, that could be a good shout.
It is a mutation.
Where they're that little bit faster than the bloater as well. It just helps you spread it out a little bit more. So
it's interesting.
Certainly an option.
The rotter can be anything you need it to be. It depends on your build. If you've got a rot spawn, you've probably got enough stall. If you've got enough loads of bloaters, you've probably got enough strength and not enough speed. If you've got enough pestigors but not enough bloaters, you might have that strength. You might want that tentacles guy. It's interesting. They're cheap, they're expendable, they do die. So yeah, like you guys said, don't get attached to them. But they really can do stuff. And if all you're stuck with is a rotter, you're going to be fine. Which is really interesting because, you always want to do stuff with the cool pieces, but the bloaters do not do things.
Yeah. I think you assume they're rubbish. I think you assume rotters are rubbish, but actually, as a player, they're not. It's when they take the injuries that they become.
Yeah, they're just made of wishes. Okay, so second positional is going to be the Pestigor. So 80k, this is twice the price of a rotter. 6338 horns, Nurgle's rot, regeneration, and they've got general strength and mutation. So this is your do everything player, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like the Pestigors.
I'm a huge fan of Pestigors. The fact they can blitz around, right? That's it. So why do you give the Pestigor a ball instead of the rotter, guys? Why the Pestigor?
Like you've just said, if you get trapped for any reason, just having that strength 4 blitz out is really handy. They've got the extra movement, and I think you can just build them a bit better. They don't have decay. So I think overall.
So even Ben's rotters, who are all movement 6, the Pestigor has the advantage there. of horns. It can blitz its way out of a hole and doesn't have decay. It's got regeneration. It has literally the reverse of decay. On a 4+, it's going to stay all right. Now, this is the mainstay power of Nurgle. They struggle at low levels. That's not a surprise. They struggle at tournaments that are low level, but these guys bloat. It's appropriate because they just don't die. Regeneration keeps these guys. It saves them from niggles. And yeah, they slow brew, but they develop into players that are just gonna stick around. They're gonna keep those casualties.
Jeez.
Yeah,
really pile on mutations with them.
You can
get great skills. Yeah, it's really solid.
That's a great shout, Ben. So these guys, the Pestigores, they get strength, they get mutation.
Yeah,
you can merrily have a Mighty Blow Claw Pestigore that you want to run around blitzing if you want it to do a better job.
It's like a mini Minotaur almost.
Yeah, exactly. You can build these guys. Now, let's talk logically. Let's talk League. What's the first skill up you get on your first Pestigore?
Good question. I mean, he's got general strength and mutation.
Yep.
Obviously, depending on what the rest of your team's doing, I think Sure Hands isn't a bad call if you're just looking for a pickup player.
Yeah, I think he'll get you scoring more points and more touchdowns to get you the points to get more skill.
Although block again is another really just good safe option because it ultimately helps him keep the ball longer as well.
I kind of view these guys very similarly to ghouls. They're the faster piece of your team, and with a ghoul, it's always, do I take Sure Hands or do I take block?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the same here. I do like Sure Hands on Pestigores. Pestigore. I feel like when you're starting out, if the only level up you've got on your team is a Pestigore, Sure Hands is a cracking one because he's going to at least allow you to play Blood Bowl a little bit better. It's going to make a massive difference.
But like you say, in a league setting where it's going to be a really long game, block might even be the better choice to start with.
Yeah,
because you can get Sure Hands at any time, and it's going to help him both get more SPP from causing casualties
and keep him standing.
Yeah,
so, you're right there. So let's do the stat block. Movement 7, Pestigore.
Yeah, I'd have that.
Definitely.
The only way you can get to movement 8.
Explosive speed.
The only way you can get movement 8 is by going to movement 7 first. Right, strength 4, Pestigore. Strength 5 on the blitz.
Any day of the week.
Okay, Edge 4, Pestigore.
I have one.
You have one in the league, do you really?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Right, and everybody's most divisive one, armor 9.
It depends when you roll it.
So if you roll it when he's level 5, you've already got all the skills you want.
Yeah.
Level 9 might not be bad. I don't know, man. It depends what he is. If he's a brawler, if he's your block, Mighty Blow, Claw, Pestigore, armor 9 might be tasty. If he's your Sure Hands dodge guy, then movement 7. Right, so doubles and things. I'm going to jump in here with an anecdote from my team. So this is not in any way, shape or form burying the lead, but 70k for rerolls on Nurgle team. The build that is the most popular build has 2 rerolls. I rolled a double, first level up on my entire team. I took leader on my Pestigore for a double.
Interesting.
It makes sense. It's good value.
I couldn't not do it. I couldn't save up for the value because the let's say the rotters kept dying, but actually I just leave them to be replaced by journeymen because it doesn't really matter, and because they're rotters. But leader enabled my team to have that third reroll, and it just made I was just able to play better. It just gave me that extra edge for my entire team. So I do like leader on a double. Now I think leader is my version of Ben's kick. I'm pro leader at almost every juncture.
A bit of affection for, yeah.
Yeah, it's a beauty, and it really helps with team development if you're saving up the cash. What other options for doubles?
Dodge is the obvious one, I think.
Then he becomes a real hench ghoul. I think dodge is the best way to get a blodge guy is by starting with dodge. It's taking that double.
Even something like catch, I think, could be really helpful if you want to do a little chain of a passing chain.
I don't know if I would take catch even first or second skill.
No, I'm not saying.
Just later on.
Just being able to reliably hand off.
Yeah, I think you're getting at the point, Ian, which is Pestigores are so malleable. You can make them murder killers. You can do it. They're blitzing around. They've got mutation access. They've got strength access. They can get mighty blow. They can brawl. If they chuck dodge on them, they can be your fast ball handlers. They're great. They are really great, but they are pricey in this team because all the other stuff is expensive. And talking of the other stuff, we've got the medium big guys on the team. The bloaters.
This is why you play Nurgle, really, isn't it, for these guys?
It is. It is. So you got Nurgle Warriors or bloaters, which are 110k, 4-4-2-9. Disturbing Presence, Foul Appearance, Nurgle's Rot, Regeneration, and General Strength Mutation on singles. What have you guys thought about this? Ben, surely you've played against Nurgle a time or two.
Yeah, and I've built my Nurgle Orc team, mixed team.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I love these guys. They're just such solid pieces with actually decent skills. Yeah, they're an expensive Black Orc, but they come with really like annoying abilities. And I've always found these a real pain. I remember playing against Ian and failing fair few foul appearance rolls.
Yeah,
because they're really sticky. They're really quite hard to get rid of.
So foul appearance, I never really rated it as a skill until last week. When I played against the Clan Pestilence team and everybody's got foul appearance. And I lined up so many beautiful blitzes and it just didn't work. It just didn't work. It just free rolled just like a failed action. It was incredibly useful. Now, Rich always loved this. He even considered putting it on the Orc in his Renegade team. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, give any other skill. Literally any other skill. But foul appearance, it's get a
1 in 6 times you can't block me.
It's just one in 6 times that guy has to burn a reroll or that stopped working. And
what's worse is like on a strength 4 player, you're usually investing quite a lot into that block.
Yeah,
exactly. Absolutely bang on there. Strength 4 is going to take 2-3 players for you to get a profitable block, or it's going to be with your big guy.
Yeah.
And if they're blitzing this guy with a Minotaur, foul appearance, that's it. That's it. You've got Loner to overcome with a reroll. You just can't do it. Like, that's it. It's just ignore me. It's incredible. Disturbing Presence is amazing when you get all 4 of these guys and the Beast of Nurgle. It just shuts down the air game. It completely stalls it. So Disturbing Presence within 3 squares. It's -1/2 catch.
Throw or catch.
Yeah. Pickup's okay though, isn't it?
Yeah, pickup's fine.
Pickup's fine, but
that would be a bit crazy otherwise. You can just literally stand these guys around the ball like that's around handbags sort of thing.
Never getting this ball. Never getting it. But yeah, I mean, Disturbing Presence just piles on, and yeah, you need a 2+ to block these guys. They've got strength 4, so it's going to be a heavy investment to clear it out. I mean, Ian, you've played a lot of Nurgle.
Yeah.
What have you? Disturbing Presence, is it as good as it seems?
Yeah, it's really handy. I think even if it doesn't come in loads, what it does do is very psychological.
Oh, absolutely.
Because people, when you think about the elf team, that are normally doing everything on a 2+.
Yeah.
When suddenly they're having to think about it's going to be a 3+ or even a 4+, they play a bit differently.
They have to play safer. And if they play safer, it allows your slow team, the Nurgle team, who has the strength advantage, to get in there and to start maiming. And it's a really interesting passive skill, but it changes the game. It changes the game on the pitch.
This exactly happened in last year's
pace
team.
changer. Yeah.
Is that what with the high elves?
Yeah, Ian's Nurgle team destroyed my house. Do you remember that game, Ian? Where I remember...
It's probably one of many,
Yeah. You're completely right with the psychological, because my high elf team I'd built to throw the ball, and playing against that team I just couldn't. I had to try and grind up the board, but I just couldn't because I was outbatched. And yeah, it was really tricky.
That is really, really cool. Nurgle is it's a counter team. It's an anti-team, isn't it?
Yeah.
In that regard. But it's got a load of brute strength. And talking about brute strength, these guys, you can build them however you like, can't you?
Yeah, I think from the off, you've kind of got a choice to make, haven't you? With if you're going to go, it's basically block and claw is often the two that you want to choose between.
Block, claw, mighty blow. Yeah.
You went mighty blow, didn't you, with yours?
Yeah, I did because it's fun.
Ooh, hard mode.
It's not block.
I thought, well, yeah, I could do block, but actually, I want to give Mighty Blow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, gosh, years and years and years ago, we had this conversation with Lewis about his Saurus Warriors, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. I think
Block or Mighty Blow.
block is the sensible choice, but actually, where this is such a slow developing team, getting Mighty Blow can just get you those extra.
Yeah, if you get block Mighty Blow 2-3 games quicker rather than going block, yeah, you're right. It turns that team real brutal. And it's interesting because 2 skills make these guys monsters. You know, block claw, block Mighty Blow, whichever way you go, that turns them from, all right, Black Orcs are scary, but there's just a bit of strength and they can't move very well, to I need to stay away from this dude because he's going to murder me.
Yeah, because actually, at the last tournament, Beachhead, I took a guy with block and claw, and he was almost like my dedicated stand him in front of a big guy.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes.
Force them to take the block.
But yeah, it makes them think, do they want to try and get rid of him? Or,
Just
maybe face the wrath.
work it round.
I found that recently Claw does work on defense, so that's actually pretty good.
Claw does work on defense. So there you go. You can put it on all your rotters and let your opponent impale themselves on them.
I wonder if that shark guy does a crab team.
It's probably
Yeah, that's
only
rash.
a matter of time. Amazing. So movement for these guys, movement 5.
Yeah, I think.
You reckon?
Actually, I wouldn't be. How much is it? What?
30k. 30k.
I think it all comes down to when you give it to them.
Yeah. Well,
Because 30k for an extra movement when they've got all the skills you want.
it's a free
I'll take
roll
that.
at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as for one of the first skills, movement and armor, because they're movement 4, and movement 4 to movement 5 is not massively useful. And armor 9 to armor 10 again isn't really that useful, especially on something that's got foul appearance and regeneration. Strength and agility. Well, let's start with strength. This guy going to strength 5, surely that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, hands down.
It's worthwhile. Strength 5 is a great skill. What about Edge 3 on a vanilla bloater?
I wouldn't bother.
I wouldn't bother either. Raspberry Ripple maybe, but not vanilla. Ian?
Yeah, like you say, maybe not vanilla, but I would think about it.
Yeah.
Because Edge 3 is the best you have in your whole team anyway. So being able to just have that on a strength 4 guy with
That's
those
where-
passive skills.
Yeah, I just think like you said with the rotters, like you have the pestigores doing that anyway.
You do, but
know,
if he's
yeah.
strength 4 all the time with disturbing presence,
He's kind of just becomes
foul appearance, then
yeah,
he-
kind of becomes a more annoying slow pestigore.
yeah.
So
So
permanently
I think
horns.
there might be a role there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I love strength. I think strength 5, Black Orcs or whatever, it's just awesome. Edge 3, not so good. I mean, this is the downside of the Nurgle roster versus Chaos, is if you roll Edge or Strength on a Chaos roster, you end up with a Strength 5 guy or an Edge 4 guy. At that point, it's real exciting. This guy just becoming average, it's almost worth just forgetting. So for me, I kind of play these guys like they've got no hands, because I just never consider using them for the ball, because they're always in combat with someone. They can never do anything anyway. And they're just there to be... They form cages excellently. And that's what these guys are here to do, in my opinion, is you form up a cage with these guys, or you anchor a screen or something, your Pestigore blend blitzes out with some supports. And that's kind of how I've seen them work. But they hold their own. They stay in the fight. They've got regen. They just take a punching. They can murder things. And yeah, with a bit of block, the dream would be block, claw, mighty blow, surely, with these guys.
Yeah, definitely.
And you guys talked about tentacles earlier.
Sprinkle some tackle in there at some point.
Yeah, they very much like the Pestigores. These guys can become so many things. Probably not ball carriers, but these guys brawl a treat. But the real strength of the team is this beauty here, the Rotspawn / Beast of Nurgle. So 140k, so same price as an ogre. 4519. Loner, Disturbing Presence, Foul Appearance, Mighty Blow, Nurgle's Rot, Really Stupid, Regeneration, Tentacles. Okay, not our favourite big guy. Didn't think it appeared in either of our top 10 lists, Ben, did it? No. Ian, how do you feel about the Rotspawn?
Yeah, I think he does differ from a lot of other big guys because stats-wise, similar. But actually, I've heard it said that he's one of the he's at his best when he's not doing anything.
Yeah, it's the only player you don't want to play with.
Yes.
This guy is like a troll, but it's the underworld troll that's been developed to be passive. Disturbing Presence, Tentacles, does stuff, and you don't need to activate him.
No.
It's really weird player. You chuck Guard on him, that's pretty tasty as well. You've got Tentacles, you chuck him on there, he's going to keep people in place. But yeah, blitzing with him is always a tough gig. He always lets me down. And I don't know, it's such a cool centerpiece model, but it's not a player, it's terrain. Genuinely. It's like you've got a magic gun, you've got an inducement.
I will block with mine, definitely, but it's not high up on the priority list.
It's real tough because if you block with him, you roll a 1. It doesn't matter when or what's going on. You'll roll the 1, he'll go really stupid, and then your tentacles just do not count for anything. So
you've got to think about it. It's got to be worth it.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's it.
I wouldn't do cheap blocks.
You can't take free blocks with him unless you don't need him anymore.
Yeah.
So he ties up 1 or 2 players, and then when the action's happening somewhere else, or the action's safely happening somewhere else, then you can try and fail with him.
Yeah, he is always a much bigger threat on your opponent's turn.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. And I cannot stress this enough. Only activate him if you need to, or if there's nothing else to do and you might as well. But don't take that, I've got a 2-die block here, I'll take that. And for the love of Nuffle, never open up with any kind of play with your Beast of Nurgle.
Especially
it will just, the possibility of letting you down is tough. Stat for stat, it's not bad. And developing it, strength, guard is pretty fun. But, if you guys got any tactics for playing against or for the Rotspawn. That just sums up the player, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think
he's to be played around, really, isn't it?
Just avoid him.
Yep. When you're setting up, if you can put him on 2 players on the line with some support, he will do a great job. It's always tough when you're kicking because you slam him right in the middle of the line of scrimmage, and they can deploy around it, but that does limit the amount of players on the line of scrimmage. This is the only big guy, I think, that you don't want to put as your linebacker. Ogres, Minotaurs, they're great fun, 2 squares back.
Yeah, that's it. Normally I leave my big guys off the line if I'm kicking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it just means you can pile up a load of guys against it.
Exactly.
Whereas here, like we said earlier with the bloaters, you can line up a great dodge, but 1 in 6 times you're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah. Well,
that blocks.
Yeah, and if you want to deploy on the line, you've got a Rotspawn, and most often 4 strength 4 guys, and you've got Rotters who are just basically free, because if you kill someone, they are actually free because of Nurgle's Rot. But you can line up 7 guys on the line, and that is a ton of strength and foul appearance as well. There's just a very limited way to get profitable blocks against that lineup. If you want to deploy heavy for Nurgle, it's going to be tough for your opponent. So you've 4 guys on the line by your Rotspawn, a couple of Rotters, and then your Pestigors as linebackers. That's not bad defense, and defense is this team. You've
got to watch. You've got to watch how you spread them though, because if all your strength is on the line, and you don't need to throw to get past them. You think of your gutter runners or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's a bad matchup. Nurgle versus Skaven is an incredibly bad matchup. Agile teams that don't need to throw, so Dark Elves probably do quite well as well.
Some explosive movement.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one. Right, so let's have a look at some of the most frequently used league, so 1000 builds. So we got the classic one here: 5 rotters, 1 pestigore, 4 bloaters, 1 rotspawn, and 2 rerolls. Ian, do you remember what you started the league with?
Exactly that.
Yeah. It is the most common build because you get a bit of everything. You get all your bloaters and your rotspawn.
Yeah.
Now, the rotspawn doesn't really need to level up. It's already doing exactly what it says on the tin. But the pestigore and the bloaters, they need the reps, because the more games you run them in, the more chance they get those SPPs, the more chance they get that first level up. And they kind of snowball, Ian, don't you think?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think the bloaters are your main players that you want to be leveling up. Because, they're the ones you can give those useful skills to actually start crumping stuff. So, definitely, in my opinion, this is the most solid one because you want all 4. And it gives you a decent chance with that strength 4 of getting early casualties and getting, after a few games, all 4 of them with a skill.
That's key. 2 rerolls can be a bit lackluster. Ben, I feel like you're a 2 reroll kind of guy.
I do try and go for 3, honestly.
Yeah?
I like, if something was really tempting, I'd take 2. In Nurgle, I would definitely take 2, and I would probably also go this build.
Yeah.
You're right. A bit of everything is really nice. I would, to be honest, I consider maybe not even taking the big guy, but I think we might talk about that. It's
definitely going to talk about that.
I would be happy with this, especially with do you get any passing access on this team?
Only on a double. Only on a double, ever.
See, that makes it tougher.
This is the build with which I gave the Pestigore leader for his double. And I feel like that's forgivable. It was the first guy, had a double. It's not brilliant to put on a Pestigore, but 80k, they are replaceable. And when you've got 1, you're going to get 3 more as your league builds, as your team builds. So I was like, if this guy ends up being leader, get another one. He gets sure hands, whatever. But becoming that 3rd reroll was really big for the team, because you've got no skills on this team at all. Literally none.
And I think as well, like, you're expecting to lose a lot of your first games. So actually the re-rolls only having 2, your bad rolls aren't generally as catastrophic because you've got quite high armor. Your key players have got regenerate. So you've got a bit of insurance there against those.
Yeah.
And also, you're not going to be using your re-rolls so much in kind of line of winning the game at first to start with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they kind of play like Undead in that way, where you want to save your rerolls for ball handling, because the rest of it, you'll be fine. It's all about positioning. If don't pick up the ball unless you really have to.
Yeah.
And this build allows you to build your league team up. Now, this is the roster that Ben was talking about. 6 rotters, 1 pestigore, 4 bloaters, and 3 rerolls. So you drop the big guy, you get an extra reroll and an extra dude.
I think an extra 20k as well.
Yeah, you get some spare cash on this one. It's not a huge amount,
but it helps build towards the pestigore, which you definitely want a second of.
Yeah, you roll a 6 in your first game, you'll be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the reroll once you start the league is the same price as the beast.
Yeah.
And this might get you a bit more consistency. You may even win games with this one. Now, that's not saying that the beast will lose you games, but you've got 1 extra add 3 piece, and you will not be over deploying on the line here. It's an interesting build, and of course the other build is a weird hybrid build. So 6 rotters, 2 pestigores, 2 bloaters, 1 rotspawn, and 3 rerolls. So this was the other one that's floated around. So you can drop the big guy, get the extra reroll, save up by the rotspawn after 3 matches, and then you're up there with the reroll. Or you can take 3 rolls here with the rotspawn, and then you're buying additional players at 110. But most importantly, you start with 2 pestigores.
Yeah.
I think I like this one less just because. So we established that the pestigore is the real linchpin of the team and does everything. But that's the thing, is you have your one that does everything, and I think you start off with that one and he progresses that area. But we established that the bloaters from the get go are really, really solid pieces.
Yeah.
And you want to just max them out, and you buy another bloater and it's just another bloater, and your pestigores are going to be fighting for this SPP. So only one's going to really skill up anyway.
I think the really interesting thing about the build with no big guy is that straight out the box. That's one box.
That is
6 rotters, 2 pestigores. You only start with 1 at 4 bloaters. That's a box. You've got a team, and you're ready to go. And then when you can afford the 80k, which is actually pretty affordable, I think you have maybe 10k spare in this team. Maybe a bit more actually, maybe 30k.
You have 20.
Yeah. You can get that second pestigore, and your team's doing stuff. Now, I have gone full Bonehead and run the all pestigore team. It was not as great as I was expecting. I thought pestigores are amazing. We'll just drop the bloaters and just take pestigores. I think I managed to get one.
You went all 4.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It was okay.
At that point, you may as well play Chaos.
That was exactly what I found, Ian. You're just playing worse Chaos at that point, because I think Ben hit the nail on the head.
Chaos.
The bloaters make this team. You've got fancy, smelly, mutatable Black Orcs with a bunch of not bad linemen, actually. Yeah. That's your team. And when they get brewing, they get doing. So they can do stuff.
Can I get a t-shirt with that on?
Anytime. So we've got a picture of Ian's beautifully painted Nurgle team here.
Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
That he took to Beachhead, and that's going to be our backdrop while we talk about anything else, tactics and Nurgly, that we haven't covered either. Ben, from you playing against them, Ian, from you playing with them, and from me farming out a whole bunch of games. Any bits you guys want to chuck out that we haven't already touched on?
I think most of my Nurgle experience has been against Ian himself. It's not, like we said before, it's not a team you see often. I don't think I've really seen them at any tournament.
They're a tough
I don't
team.
think I've ever played against one myself, actually.
Yeah, it's rare to be able to discuss when we're having thankfully Ben's been playing on Blood Bowl 2 a lot. So maybe
it's been great. I've never lost a game with Nurgle. I think I've only won a few. It's just draw city, either 0-0 draws or just 1-1s, 1-1 grinds. Like,
tell me your secret.
play a lot against the AI. No, I've not lost a game against in the Bonehead Podcast Cup with Nurgle. It's just been, I think I'm with the full team. I think 3 draws and a win, which against Undead. I can't remember what else. Undead, Nurgle. I beat Nurgle, which was unsurprising. Whatever happened, Nurgle was going to win that one. That was when I did my dodgy rotter stuff. But yeah, they give such a solid defense. Because their guys just don't move, they just don't budge, they just apply those negative modifiers. This is a heavy draw team, I think.
Yeah, they're kind of designed to make the opponent feel like they're trying to walk through treacle.
Yeah, it does genuinely feel like that. So
slowly wear them down.
Good matchups and bad matchups for Nurgle. What do you guys think?
I think they're pretty good against agile teams, like we said, or throwing teams.
Throwing teams.
Yeah.
Agile, I think, like we said earlier, gutter runners and the like are a nightmare for them.
I love the prospect of playing Nurgle with a Skaven team, because
they can't cover the space they need to.
It's so tough to stop that. If I receive with Skaven, it's so tough to stop the 2-turn score. And then Nurgle have got to put some hoon on to be able to score in 6 turns,
Yeah.
And it doesn't take much to separate the team. And then you've got gutter runners in the backfield. It's a pretty tough gig. I mean, what about good matchups for Nurgle?
Stunties? Do you reckon they crush stunties quite easily?
I think if you're playing against a stunty team in the first few games, you've got to be licking your lips because you're going to be getting those SPPs that your team really needs. But the thing with stunties is they can just 3+ dodge a couple of times, or 4+ dodge, or 2+ dodge if you're playing Ian's pro halflings. But they can escape through for that touchdown, and Nurgle cannot score.
One thing with stunties though is throw teammate.
Yeah,
that's throwing.
Exactly it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's negative.
This does.
I think I came up against this at Beachhead when Ripper.
That's a fumble.
Chuck some things.
Yeah, that's negative modifiers. That's a fumble, isn't it?
Let's shut that down.
Oh, that's very useful. So this team just takes the fun out of stunty teams as well.
We lean towards Bonehead basics Nurgle. Don't play them.
Don't play them. You've got to love them. The team looks beautiful. The model kit is so much fun. They look like sweaty margin boos running around with a bunch of zombies. It's great fun. Pestigors are awesome. Playing this solid team. I mean, it's just you've got it. It's all about positioning. It's all about slow winning. It feels tier 2. It's a tough team. It's a real tough team, but they get there and 1300-1400, then they start being real scary, because the Rotters, they're not the ones with the SPPs. That's 400k of stuff on the 6 players that want it, the Pestigors and the Rotters, and then they just start being very good Chaos Warriors and very good Beastmen, and that's
just that thing is that they've got the punch, but also just by being on the pitch, they affect the opponent's passing.
Yeah.
And that's, that's huge.
So
it is.
I love this team because it is really different. It's just so different. The only close team to this, I think, is probably Khemri.
Yeah, similar playstyle, I think.
But I think this team wins against Khemri.
Do you think?
Yeah, the linemen win out.
They do. Having Edge 3 is quite a big upgrade.
Yeah, you've got some strength. Khemri outstrength you ever so slightly, but let's say the big guys just join in for some kind of mutually assured destruction. Your linemen and your Pestigors are just significantly better. So I think these guys have the edge on Khemri.
Well, I guess we'll find out. We'll put Ian's Nurgle against Rich's Khemri.
That's Clash
I'll
of the
get
Titans.
Rich rolled.
Get rich rolled. Fantastic. I am just going to quickly check the notes, make sure we've covered everything on that bit. How to beat them, team builds, yes. Teams good against, skill ups, team strategy. Yeah, I think we've talked everything Nurgle. So let's take a quick break, and then we're back with how to play from behind inducements. Okay, welcome back, and it is inducement time. So we talked a lot about Nurgle and how they start at 1,000 and slowly brew up to being a powerhouse, several 100k later. But let's say you start in a league. Let's say you're going to a tournament. Let's have a look and see what star players they can have available to them. So it's one of the new teams. We've got Spike, I think Spike 3 here. We've got a couple that we'll talk through first. So Grashnak Blackhoof. The reason we're going to talk about him is because we've already kind of spoken about him before. Well, I mentioned him in this episode actually. Chaos Chosen, Chaos Dwarf, Nurgle. We can blitz through this one because he is the ultimate blitzer. 310, 6628, Frenzy Horns, Loner, Mighty Blow, Thick Skull. Come on, Minotaur on a Nurgle team. What do you guys think about this?
Better than a beast.
Much better than a beast. If you're playing 300k down, does Grashnak save you, Ian?
I mean, one of the things he does do is he's mobile for Nurgle. He's got that movement 6. He's got a decent threat range for blitzing. It is a lot of money.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, he is a threat, definitely.
It's interesting. Normally, in a league game, for 300k, I would be inclined to do things that help develop my team. But Nurgle, the way the team develops is the Pestigors get the touchdowns, and your Rotters, your Bloaters get casualties by being punched and not dying, and just basing people. I feel like losing your blitz every turn to Grashnak is actually much better in this situation than it is for any other team.
Yeah.
They're quite a slow walk, sit, punch.
Yeah.
Rather than it, yeah.
You can move up with your Nurgle and you can just jump in and blitz holes with Grashnak. We don't normally, Ben, do we? We don't normally like the 300k plus players, but I think Grashnak can do stuff here.
Yeah, I think he's the one I'd consider most in this, yeah.
Now, in that price range, we've got Lord Borak the Despoiler, Chaos Chosen Nurgle, 300, 5539 block, Dirty Player, Loner, Mighty Blow. So you can have a Strength 7 Blitzer, or you can have a Strength 5 blocker here with Mighty Blow. I think they do very similar things. I don't know. What do you guys think? Rashnak or Lord Borak in this team?
I've run Lord Borak before in one of my early games.
With Nurgle?
Yeah, Rick even gave me the old model to hang on to.
The old model? Oh, wicked.
Yeah. He was handy. I'm not sure if he was 300k handy.
Yeah,
he was handy.
We had the model.
we had the model. Yeah,
he's just very reliable. Blocker, Mighty Blow.
Yeah,
there's a lot for an ogre with.
He's going to get you some casualties.
Yeah, he has a lot for an ogre with block.
He is a lot for ogre with block.
And do you really want to be dirty? Do you really want to be stamping on stuff?
That's just in there for theme, but
He is
overcosted. And talking of overcosted, although possibly not, Morgan Thorg. Any team except stuff that's dead. Block Loner, Mighty Blow, Thick Skull, Throw Teammate, 430k, 66310. If you're down Morg, you might as well run Morg, I guess. Like, if you're down a Morg amount of team value, Morg is pretty great, but I don't know.
Yeah. Cut your losses because it's the only time you get a chance to run Morg, so just do it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Now, obviously, I would go for the Slave Giant here, but that's because I'm a madman, and I won with the Slave Giant, so it can be done. Can be done.
You could have the snail, the great snail.
Just tie it up. Get you to print out that guy at like twice the scale, Ben.
Oh, perfect. Yeah,
that's a massive goblin at that point.
Craig used to have an African land snail. I'm sure we could just.
He did actually. Yeah, you think he's still got it? Okay, the reason we
60 mil.
Yeah, well, I've got loads of them. The reason we blitz through those players is because those are very generic players that are out and about. So let's look at some Nurgle stuff. So first up, we have got Bile Rot Vomit Flesh, Chaos Chosen and Nurgle. So 180k, 4529. Okay. Dirty Player, Disturbing Presence, Foul Appearance, and Loner. So this guy is a bloater with +1 strength for 180k. What do you think to that?
Yeah, I mean the strength 5 is nice, but he doesn't have any other real blocking skills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I feel like he'd end up on his backside quite a lot.
I think this guy's a great stand-in if your beast is out.
Yes. Yeah, agreed.
I actually think I prefer him to the beast, but you know.
It's another disturbing presence as well. So
yep, you get the disturbing presence back. You got strength 5. He's doing stuff with strength 5 for 180k down. I don't know. That's definitely one to think about if you're going up against someone you need to brawl against, or your beast's out, or right, one of your bloaters is out. There's a definite possibility you can afford this guy, and leveling up to a strength 5. Strength 5 is a pretty good skill in itself. Yes, he doesn't have block, but you're going to be 2-die blocking most things.
I mean, if your bloater's out, I'm just thinking about this really. I mean, how much is a Merc bloater? 160. And then what's the price for the skill?
30k for a skill on top. So you could have a 290 for a 4429 with block, or 180 for 4529 without block.
Yeah, so I think that's a toss-up, to be honest, if you're missing a bloater.
I like this guy. I think he's pretty cool. I think it's a good, cheap muscle.
And very easy if you want to model him, I reckon.
Yeah.
There's loads of options out there.
Absolutely.
Future Blood King. Even one of these guys with a little mod on him.
Yeah, that's the great thing about
Nurgle Warband that you.
Yes.
Underworld's Warband. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't even consider that, Ben.
Yeah.
They've got some great models for Nurgle. Okay, next one up is Buller Shardhorn. So this is a Pestigore star player, just Nurgle here. 230k, 6338. So Pestigore stats. Loads of skills here. So block, extra arms, foul appearance, horns, loner, Nurgle's rot, regeneration, stab, and 2 heads. So
if you can play a game and not forget one of these skills, that's impressive.
I don't think you use stab very often.
No.
I mean, it's free. There's no secret weapon. It's free. But extra arms and 2 heads gives this dude essentially Edge 4. doesn't
pretty
it?
much on everything he wants to do. Yeah.
Yeah, +1 to pick up, +1 to catch, +1 to dodge. And basically edge 4. Got foul appearance, not a massive difference, but I'll tell you what, blitzing around there with strength 4, when you're kind of pseudo edge 4, that's not bad. Plus, if you don't have catching, but this dude's catching with +1 because of the extra arms. That's a 2+ catch in the open, and then blitzing away with strength 4 block. I feel like
foul appearance,
and foul appearance to protect.
Yeah.
If you want to win the game, good. If you want to skill up your team, I think he'll be a hog.
That's always a great thing to consider. Yeah, this star player can win you the game. There's a likelihood that it's going to cost you those 3 SPP for TDs, which can be massively critical. But if I think you're right, Ian. I think if you want to win the game, if you're at 10, 15, you're playing a big boy team, 1300, 1400, this guy could give you the edge while your team does its thing. Yeah, I like that. Guffle Pussmore, 210, 5349, agility 4 on Guffle Pussmore here. Foul appearance, loner, monstrous mouth, and Nurgle's rot.
I quite like this guy.
Okay,
I love the monstrous mouth.
Monstrous mouth is +1 to catch, and it counts as sure hands if strip ball is in play.
Yeah, it's like a better short hands if I remember. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Right, 210, edge 4. It's got loner, so that's big counter. Yeah, it's got a 2+ doing the things you want to do, and it can be used. Guffle can be used to pick up the ball and then deliver it to one of your pestigors, or even a rotter or a bloater that you think can get the score. Downside there is that loner, there's no integral rerolls, and loner reroll is a tough gig.
Yeah, I don't know if does it give you the reroll to pick up?
Monstrous, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't. Okay,
No,
so yeah,
it's I think it might be a reroll to catch. Actually, it might be
right. Okay,
might be catch. I don't know. I just don't. If you want, edge 4 is pretty good, but I think Buller is slightly better here. Doing the stuff, going to be scoring, but yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Any more thoughts on Guffle Pussmore?
Yeah, I just feel like Buller, you're all right with so far. Buller is just a better presence on your board. This is not gonna. He's gonna pick up the ball for you, and that's about it. Hopefully, at this point, you might have at least a pesticle with short hands. Hopefully, and he's kind of just going to be a ball carrier, and he's going to take that job away from him.
Ian, any more thoughts on Buller?
Yeah,
on Guffle?
Yeah, I think Guffle was a good one if you've got a big TV gap, because he could do some good like link-up plays. So let's say you had the money to get both.
Oh,
that'd be quite a good combo.
You want to be taking the giant at that point, yeah. Hands down.
Yeah,
every time.
I think he could be good to get with something else.
Yeah.
If you want to fiddle the numbers a bit. But yeah, I think you're probably right that Buller's a better choice if you've got about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the next guy is a good partnership.
You're bang on, Ben. We were slow rolling this, but
Yeah.
the choice for all Nurgle teams ever has got to be Lewd Grip Whip Arm.
The Slaneshi Lewd Grip Whip.
Yeah. Chaos Chosen, Chaos Renegades, Nurgle, 160k. So this is Lewd Grip 2.0. So he had a slight adjustment. He went up in 10,000 and got dodged. So 6339. All right. So he's a faster, strength busted Chaos Warrior. Dodge, Loner, Pass, Strong Arm, Sure Hands, and Tentacles. So we've gushed about Lewd Grip a couple of times, I think, on the podcast.
Such good value. He's so
160.
good.
160 is nothing in inducement time, really.
Yeah.
Sure Hands. Okay, it means he's picking up the ball. He's getting the ball for your team. Doesn't get punished for Loner. He's got Pass and Strong Arm. So if you need to stretch play or you need to get that ball to someone, you've got that integral reroll as well. So he's 3+ with the reroll to pick it up, 3+ with the reroll for a quick pass. He basically makes your ball carrier 6 squares faster. And that's a whole turn for Nurgle. This guy buys you a whole turn.
Yeah, I think I'd honestly rather be 160k down in a Nurgle team just so I can get this guy, because I think he'd help you win.
Fire the beast, take Lewd Grip all the time.
Yeah, oh, he's way better than Beast. Yeah.
Well, he's still got tentacles, so if you're missing that, you can just put him on the line. Now, Lewd Grip will die. He's got armor 9, which is pretty tough. He is strength 3. He's got no skill for block, but actually dodge and armor 9 will keep him on the pitch basically the entire game normally.
Yeah,
I love Lewd Grip. I think he's brilliant. Rich uses him all the time, and when I've played Rich's Chaos team and his Nurgle team, Lewd Grip just makes the team come alive.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Have you used Lewd Grip before, Ian?
Yes, I have actually. Yeah.
And do you agree?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think he's just really helpful. Just helps speed up the team. He can sort of. I remember when I used him, it was quite nice just to run the ball into your cage, and even just then hand off at a later point if you need to.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is just a really good all-rounder. He can kind of mop up the back a bit and check the ball if you need to.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gives you a lot of options.
And talking about mopping up and options, we've got Max Spleen Ripper, the chainsaw player. 130k, 5'4", 3'8", chainsaw loner, secret weapon. 130k, this guy's strength 4. Yeah, he's got secret weapon, but don't forget, he's strength 4, so he can be on the line, he can punch things. But he's almost always better off just cutting stuff up that you've dropped to the ground already.
Yeah, it helps him defensively, the strength 4, for sure.
Yes.
Oh, huge. That's the big vulnerability of a chainsaw. I love a chainsaw blitz, so I'm always up for blitzing with a chainsaw. But this guy can just punch things. And like you say, Ben, he's less likely to get punched because he is strength 4, and that's 3 players committed. Instead of a cheeky free block on your standard chainsaws, you get that benefit there. Max Spleen Ripper, 130k is quite expensive for a chainsaw, though.
Well,
Yeah,
and then obviously you've got to chuck on a bribe generally if you want him for any amount of time.
All right, then I put it to you the first time for this episode. Is he better than a wizard?
Yeah, I'd take him. And I'd take him because what we said earlier with the rotters, where they're really good at fouling, this guy gets them on the floor for your rotters to foul, and then you get more rotters.
Oh no, I think he fouls the guys with a chainsaw.
Do you reckon?
Fouling with a chainsaw is probably my favourite use for a chainsaw. So in that respect, I feel like the strength is a little bit
Wasted?
potentially, yeah. But I think, like you say, it is defensive.
It's a brilliant defense move. The answer was you're both wrong. It's both. It's both. You use the fireball to drop them down, and then he comes along and murders people. So I guess you're both right. I like it. Talking about secret weapons, we've got Tolly Glocklinger, which is a very cool new player. 110k, right? So 20k cheaper than this chainsaw. 3729, you can all know what's coming here. It's Ball and Chain, and a bunch of other skills. So Ball and Chain, Disturbing Presence, Foul Appearance, Loner, No Hands, Nurgle's Rot, Secret Weapon, Stand Firm. So this is a Ball and Chain Nurgle Warrior. 130k, 3 squares of movement, armor 7. Right, this or Max Spleen Ripper? What are you doing?
See, I think where Nurgle are about holding people in place and being quite static a lot of the time, I think this guy could really excel.
Then would you end up hitting your own guys?
Yeah, definitely. Only on camera, in.
Only on camera, yeah. If you forget, it's still behind the troll.
Yeah, straight through the troll. 110k, man. This adds some serious punch to your Nurgle team.
I really like him.
So yeah, it's very good for the price.
I think he fits in great with a TV 1000 team. So if you're playing League, your team's all there. This just adds a bit of removal at the beginning of the game. Just adds some chaos, adds some carnage, adds some terrifying fear. That's pretty good price at 110k. It's that or a reroll, and I think that's probably a tough question. Actually, do you take your third reroll or do you take Tolly Glocklinger?
I'd take the third reroll.
I would probably be inclined to take the third reroll as well, Ian.
If you just had 110, I would take the reroll. I think the issue here is Nurgle don't often have a deep bench to start with. you're probably going to have 11 players.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
So yeah, you lose a rotter, and then you're forced to put him on waste straight away, isn't it?
That is a tough gig at that point. However, it's a very, very cool player, and I can see him being played. Is there a... I feel like I've seen this model.
Well, I think one of the Blight Kings has some entrails coming out that he's holding, which should be a really easy conversion.
Right.
I'm just trying to think.
Was this not one of the models that was spoiled?
Chog have
Right.
done...
They've got a star.
Plus more.
Yeah, I
have
think
got
plus
he's
more.
got plus
It's
more,
got much
yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen this model, but I might have just seen a cool conversion on the...
I don't think there's an official one at all.
That'd just be great fun. And the last star player to talk about is Withergrasp Double Draw. This is a very cool player. So 6/3/3/8 loner, prehensile tail. There's your mutation bear. Tackle, tentacles, 2 heads, and wrestle. This guy is the ultimate backfield sacker. 2 heads, getting her in +1 for the dodge. Tackle, tentacles, wrestle, prehensile tail. If you're playing Skaven, this guy wins. Against
I think
gutters.
there's a lot of ways. We mentioned how good Loot Grip is. I think there's a lot of situations where I take this guy over Loot Grip.
Yeah, this guy's more of a defensive version of Lewd Grip, isn't he?
Yeah, especially if you already had your Sure Hands Pesticle.
Yeah.
And you already had that way of carrying the ball. I would definitely take this guy over it.
That's fair. Movement 6 is pretty decent. That tackle wrestle is just mighty. Ian, have you ever considered Withergrass before?
I haven't tried him yet, but I think he's definitely got some really good matchups. Like your gutter runners, like your
Elf catchers.
your war dancers even.
Yeah, War Dance is not bad.
Things that, he sacks blodgers. That's brilliant.
I wish
With tackle and wrestle.
I wish he
That's
had
brilliant.
horns. Can you imagine if he had horns? That would just be incredibly.
But to be honest, rolling 1 dice, you've got a good chance of getting a power both. You've got 50-50, haven't you?
Well, anything but a skull, you're okay. And then, you've got a 50% chance of pow star because you've got tackle, and then wrestle to drop them down. So, 50% of the time, this works all the time.
1 dice.
And even if you don't, that War Dance is not going anywhere with Prehensile Tail and Tentacles.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to have to hit him back.
He's going to have to 1-die you. And then...
block, you put them down.
That's exactly it. You've got the opportunity of a block there. However, War Dancers will just leap away. But then Tentacles, I believe, does actually come into play.
It does. I'm sure. Yeah.
Which is certainly not a free roll. Okay, so star players, I think they've got a great bunch. I'm really happy with the Nurgle bench.
They had a lot to the Nurgle team. They had a lot of dynamism.
Yeah, they had a bit of character in some ways. But Lewd Grip is wicked to make your team start working, and the rest of it kind of just supports it once it's already rolling. Withergrasp is a great safety. You've got Max and Tolly that are there as great secret weapons. You've got some big guys. You've got a good choice of big guys. You've got 3 strength 5 plus big guys, 4 strength 5 plus big guys, and a couple of other players. Really, really, really cool. Don't worry, guys. We're nearly there. There's only a couple of inducements left to talk about. So they have a Plague Doctor they can take, which is once per game, a Plague Doctor may be used to reroll 1 failed regeneration roll for a player on your team. Alternatively, once per match, the Plague Doctor may be used when a player on your team is KO'd. If the player was on the pitch when KO'd, leave them on the pitch stunned rather than removing them from the pitch. If the player was KO'd as a result of being pushed into the crowd, place them directly into the reserves box rather than the KO'd player's box. So this is a Nurgle Apothecary with an added bonus. You get to reroll your regen, essentially. 100k are not the kind of thing you're likely to want to use because your key players have regeneration. But
that's why you would want to use it.
What, just for when regeneration fails?
Well, that's the whole point of it. You're re-rolling your regen.
Yeah, but you've already had a chance. Your important guys got to get injured. They've got to actually injure him. Then your big guys got to fail the regeneration.
Oh yeah, no, I see. It's a nice bonus if the gap is big enough.
Yep. Yeah. If someone said, "Here, have 2 million, build a team," I'd probably take a Plague Doctor. But if I'm punching 100k underneath, I'm taking that extra reroll or Tolly or something to just get the edge. Cavorting Nurglings is pretty cool. 40k available to Nurgle teams. A Nurgle team accompanied by a swarm of cavorting Nurglings on the sidelines will automatically gain +1 fame at the beginning of the match. Note that this modifier may not take the team above +2 fame. So you can pay 40k to have permanent fan favourite, basically, and get +1 to all your fame rolls.
And would that, unlike fan favorite, would that give you the extra 10k?
You know what? It very well might. I think it doesn't say that it doesn't.
And actually, I mean, we've said before, rerolls is one of the things Nurgle struggle with. So +1 fame helps on all those rolls.
And if it does help on the cash side of it, boom, it's an extra 10k every game.
It's also 40,000, which is the real sweet spot and annoying spot.
Yes, you get 40k, and then it's like I can't even take a keg.
No, all you can take is your 20k assistant coaches and cheerleaders at that point. And this just straight up gives you +1 fame. Love it. So we love wizards. Well, I love wizards, and everybody else should love wizards too.
It's kind of fun, I think.
This one is the Horticulturalist of Nurgle, which is the Nurgle Wizard, available to Chaos Chosen, Chaos Renegades, and Nurgle teams. Usual things apply. If you don't keep up repayments, they may engulf your house in spores. So, 2 choices for Wizard Land. We've got Vigorous Growth. Cast at the start of any of your opponent's turn before any player performs an action. For the duration of this turn, opposition players suffer a -2 modifier to dice rolls when making go for it attempts, as the turf of the pitch erupts with unclean life. So essentially, -2 for go for it for the duration of the turn.
Very situational.
So one great thing about this is that it automatically is cast. There's no cast roll, which can really hurt you when taking these magic cards. When taking these wizards, this is like a magic card that they've got in Fumble called Greasy Shoes or something. I don't know. In Bonehead Bowl, I think, is that what you were going to say, Ben?
Oh yeah, I was going to say I used this in my previous tournament, which was Greased Shoes. And it makes it go for a 5+. It's not quite.
Oh, it's a bit more powerful.
It's a bit more powerful, but it did make my opponent just not do that this turn. Oh. It just bought you a turn, which on Nurgle is quite significant.
We've all failed to go for it in a Blizzard, and that's just on a 1 or a 2. This does stack with that. So in a Blizzard, you get your sweet 5+ go for it pass. For 1 turn, it's 1 turn. It's a lot of money for 1 turn. For the drive, that would have been an absolute shoo-in, but for 1 turn, it can be clutch, and you don't have to choose till you cast the spell, so you don't have to lock yourself in. The other option is Strange Fauna. Cast either at the start of any of your turns before any player performs an action, or immediately after your turn has ended, even if it ended with a turnover. Choose an empty target square anywhere on the pitch. Choose D3 opposition players within 2 squares of the target square. Roll a d6 for each to see if that player is hit. If the score is 4+, the player is unexpectedly attacked by demonic carnivorous plants of prodigious size that erupt from the loamy earth before rapidly rotting away to nothing. That player is knocked down. If it's a 3 or less, nothing happens. Make an armor roll, and using Mighty Blow and Nurgle's Rot. That is cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you stick that in a cage. And you can make players between 1 and 3 players.
Yeah, so D3 opposition players. So it can be 1, at which point on a 4+, it knocks them down, Mighty Blow, and if it kills them, you get a Rotter. Realistically, there's no casting cost for this spell either. So this automatically goes off, and then on an average, 2 players, there's a chance of knocking them down to the ground. It's not a gimme. I don't think it's as good as Fireball, you know?
It's hard to say. Because the Fireball does generally hit more than this.
Yeah.
And it's on 2+.
I think you might be right there, actually. Fireball is good for when people are piled up, but 2 squares either side, that's 5 squares. That's quite a lot of the Blood Bowl pitch.
Fireball scatters, doesn't it?
No. Fireball just hits the thing, and then everyone gets knocked down on a 4+. But this is kind of I think it's less good than Fireball, but it's useful if they're not in a cage, and this could be useful for elves, for playing against elves or Skaven. If they're playing a side screen or something where they're filtered out, you get D3. You just knock 3 of their players down on the ground and roll armor. And
with Mighty Blow
at the start of your turn. Like, we are best case scenarioing that, but worst case scenario.
That's what Blood Bowl's all about.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Got a dream.
I don't know. Is it better than a wizard, guys?
It's more fun.
It's more fun. It's more thematic.
It is more thematic. If that said,
I think I'd take it just because it's a Nurgle wizard, and I'd have the Underworld's wizard.
Oh,
yeah, I was thinking about the Underworld's wizard. Actually, she'd be great with that.
That is a sweet model. If that said choose 2d3 opposition players, that would just be incredibly.
That would be
cool.
ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Make 6 rotters for what is that? 240k.
Yeah, just
nice.
Murders them all. Right. That is it for all the Nurgle inducements. Guys, before we wrap up the episode, is there anything on Nurgle we haven't touched on?
I think just to say they are a riot to paint.
Yeah.
They're great fun.
There's some lovely miniatures out there. We saw yours earlier on, Ian. Let's see if we can bring it back up. Not quite right. Yeah, I don't know where it's gone.
I'd happily claim any of them, to be honest.
Better than those ones.
But yeah, just you get to use some really nice
there we go.
Shading techniques and try a bit of blending and all sorts of fun things. So
it's a gross team. It's a very cool team. But I think with a classic Bonehead twist, the best thing to do with the Nurgle team is run it in a mixed team build.
Yes, definitely do that.
Because this team pairs up great with almost anything. A couple of the big guys, a couple of bloaters, Pestigore, with any team, it's really interesting mix. I mean, you had that in 7s, didn't you, Ben?
Yes, with our little Hangover Bowl team, never got a chance to use them, but I really hope so. I hope to soon, so we can do that.
We need to run that out. We need to run that on YouTube as soon as the world reopens and we're allowed to. Wicked. Right, guys, thank you ever so much for joining us. Ian, thanks for coming on the show and talking Nurgle with us. Appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
Always great to have you here. And Ben, always great to have you. Thank you very much for joining me once again. Listeners, thank you very much for listening. We should be bringing you the final of Roster Rumble in the next few weeks when Ben and I get a chance to record it together. And then we're going to be back in a couple of weeks' time with the entries, with our choices for the Big Guy Design Competition, Ben.
Looking forward to that. There's been some cracking ones already. I'm having great fun reading them. So
much. I'm trying to avoid reading too many of them at once because I want to save them for that. We said closing date was the 30th of June, so you've got until next Tuesday. So Tuesday when it comes out. So do get your things in for that. That'll be for the Punga Star Player Armored Rat Ogre, which is a very, very cool miniature. And then we get to do another competition afterwards because that's what we're having fun with at the moment. So yes. Right, guys, thanks very much for joining me. And see you all next time.
Cheers.
See you later.
Bye, guys.